again, this is the FBI reopening an investigation, but my friend Charles Payne was saying is that the exact same investigation. This was part of a sidecar investigation that was going on, presumably not to have anything doing directly with this one, but something came to light in this sidecar investigation that prompted this. That's the best way I can explain it, because that's the best way I can describe it. But again, I'm no lawyer. James Kallstrom, a former FBI assistant director, on the phone with us right now. James, what do you think it is? What caught their attention? What would prompt such a reversal? Because it is unusual, to put it mildly.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Fine.
I don't know much other than the fact that I've been out of pocket, but I understand Comey wrote a letter to Jason Chaffetz. Is that right?
Right. And all the other respective committee chairmen saying he was reopening this and that something had come to light, emails presumably come to light, in a separate investigation that brought us to this. Now, whether that was prompted by WikiLeaks material, I don't know. No one knows. But something happened. Now, you're a good investigator. What would prompt something like that?
I think what happened is these guys that run the FBI now came to the conclusion that they look like absolute fools, you know, and that they've done a horrible job. They've thrown the agents under the bus. They discredited the FBI's reputation. And I can tell the people listening to you, it's not the FBI agents, believe me. You know, it's 2 or 3 people at the top of the FBI that have, you know, instead of standing up, you know, if they were not going to ever impanel a grand jury, you know, that means you really don't conduct a criminal investigation. You don't have subpoena power. You don't have warrants. You know, that was apparently apparent early on in this investigation. You know, and I would have liked to have seen, you know, somebody with the integrity not to just conduct a, you know, an investigation that doesn't meet any of the criteria of how the FBI operates.
But James,
you know,
what do you read any significance? Do you read any significance into the State Department still trying to figure out what these emails pertain to, and the fact that it has formally not been notified that this is all going on?
Well,
what do you make of that?
You know, Neil, I don't have all the information. I don't know because I've been traveling, but you know, I think it's just a preponderance of shame, and you know, the recent stuff that's come out in the last couple of weeks is so, you know, it's so instructive as to the criminality, the broadness of the criminality, and the fact that, you know, the FBI just, you know, whistled by the grave on this thing, which they should have never done. You know, now if Comey, you know, if he's had a change of heart, you know, I suspect that, you know, they never had a really bona fide investigation because the Justice Department wouldn't let them do it. But I don't know what's changed in that in that realm, other than the fact that Comey is very, very embarrassed, I would think, because his professional and ethical, you know, experiences put a great risk here. So yeah. I suspect that's the major reason.
James, thank you very, very much.